Well, good morning, everyone. Just before we went online, um, the yoga group, we were talking about shifts and changes, and one of our groups just planted nearly 500,000 baby trees on the west coast, on the west of Zambia. And these small actions we can never underestimate. And yet we can also fall into a lot of despair when we see what's happening with the disruptions, the greed, the raping of the world. And so we hold these things in tension with the taking and the free giving. And today we're going to explore the sense of coming deeply home, not just to the core of our body. There's a huge amount now on developing our core, which yoga is very good at. We develop our core muscles, our core strength, our spine, so that we can hold ourselves and be held. But today we're going to move into the tension of the opposite, where we are held. And the yogic ancient belief of prana, which doesn't come from within us. It comes from, we are part of something huge. So today we're doing a very gentle class on releasing the core of focus on the internal to actually releasing to the hugeness of what we call God, the external, and letting go of our need to control our own systems. So welcome. So let's get going. I've now got a rather nice daybed in the back, so I'll be leaning up against that. So coming into a comfortable seated position, whether it's on a bed, I've got bed in my head, a chair, on the floor, on a cushion. Find a place where you are supported. This is not being supported now by the internal mechanisms, but being supported by the external. And feeling yourself sinking down now, imagining a long chain, a root going deep into the earth. Feeling your bum heavy on the chair or the cushion. Feeling without tension, feeling your back being supported. And spend time getting into a position that you feel supported in. When I was in the throes of trying very hard in Kundalini Yoga and getting up at 4:30 in the morning and having this very harsh routine, there was great benefits in it. I went on it was a Quaker weekend in the west of Scotland, and someone was learning mindfulness. And I was getting up in the dark and the cold and the wet at 4:30. And she says, "Oh, I woke at 6 and I did my mindfulness practice lying in my bed, relaxed." And I thought, what? Here we have the tension between the tension of going, discipline, control, core strength, core decisions, and releasing, letting go, letting be. And I smile on that now. And we're now today verging on the latter, releasing, letting go, and trusting that all will be well. So feeling into your body, while bringing your hands into prayer mudra. And as you experience your hands pressing into the sternum, right in the breastbone, in the heart center, be gentle, don't press too hard. Feel what you feel. Letting go of trying too hard. Letting go of the performance. Relax into the body you've been given, knowing that you're supported by something much vaster. And take a breath in and out. And in again. And out. And in to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Allowing the sound current of the infinite Om that we greet. Know that we cannot hold it, control it, manipulate it. It is there, and we release ourselves into it. Being grateful for these days that we are living. The harshness, the extremities that we're feeling. The cruelty on earth. And the kindness. Feeling yourself now coming down in a sitting posture with your hands in front of you on the floor, pushing down into the earth. From the earth we come, and from the earth to the earth we return in physical dust. But from the air we are born, from the pranic force of the universe. Now, coming in to a sense of feeling into your breath as we've pushed down into the earth. We've sent a root down, for we need tap roots and we need side roots. Now reaching up, feeling that pranic energy around. Don't force, we're not doing any, we're going to listen to our bodies and our breaths today without doing the traditional Kundalini breath exercises. Feel into your nostrils, the prana coming in. Notice, don't force anything, just notice. Can you feel the air in as it comes in? Where's it coming from? Softening your face, no force, no grabbing, no need to control, noticing through both nostrils the breath coming in to the body. Let it come naturally. Don't take deep breaths. Just let it be. Notice how it feels as it enters the nostril. Maybe it touches the harder bone in the center on the in-breath. And on the out-breath, you may feel it differently. It may expand down through the outside of your nostrils, the blood vessels. Notice what's happening on the breath. And relax down. Relax into this infinite space that we can rely on, that we're part of. And as you relax down into that rooting system, notice how your breath is changing. Don't force anything, just notice. Notice what's happening in your belly, your chest. As you trust the prana that is all around us. Notice if your breathing through the nostrils is coming more in one nostril or the other. And let it be. Notice where your tongue is in your mouth and let it be. As now, instead of the forcing of the breath, we're allowing the breath to begin to breathe us. Releasing down, dropping your whole body and trusting the beingness of this universal energy holding us. Notice any change in your breath. As you relax, your body relaxes down and trusts the earth. Is there a different rhythm happening in your breathing? You may notice that it's slowing down. Allow it to slow down, and on the out breath, notice only when you really need, when the lungs of the earth need to fill again without panic. Experiment now. I find that I am holding my breath out for much longer. And as your body relaxes, being held, we're not needing to grab breath, it'll come. On each out breath, release back down into the earth. And on every in-breath, drawing it from the top of your head, expanding into universal pranic energy. Feel how you're being held by the spine, by your posture. Now imagining somewhat loving person holding a hair at the back of your head, just gently pulling it up so that we are moving both up and down without strain. So our chins naturally drop down as we continue to breathe in the rhythm of the universe. No hurry. Notice the quality of your whole body responding to being held by this universal energy without having to perform or get into a perfect posture. How naturally your body responds and pulses with the rhythm of the universe. Now we're going to change things slightly and move more into core body energy, noticing the muscles in our bodies, the bones, everything as we support an action. So you're going to feel the muscles that are being used as you lift one hand up to the side. Go very slowly. Feel the muscles. This is where I had that rotator cuff. I can feel muscles strain. Lifting your hand up, feeling the gravity of the earth as you come. And as you stretch up to the top, feeling the stretch and stretching a little bit beyond where you're really pushing yourself. And then bring it down, but very slowly, intentionally using all your muscles, your shoulder, your strength, to feel into that tension of the movement. And release down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same exercise very differently. You're going to imagine there's a balloon under your hand that's pushing your hand up. Now feel onto the balloon on the floor, and as you breathe in, so that balloon is getting pumped up. Let your hand rest on that balloon as it comes up. Release your shoulder down. Trust the prana of the balloon to lift your hand up. Just let your breath come in and out. Trusting till it reaches the top without strain. And now trusting as the balloon deflates. releasing the muscles rather than tensing them. Now to the other side. We're going to start with feeling into the muscles. So feeling the gravity, the force of the earth. Against the earth we are lifting, as if we're lifting weights in the gym. Feeling those muscles working. Being grateful that we have these muscles we can strengthen, but feeling into the tension of that movement. And then down, and feel how your whole body is responding as you use your core energy for the movement. Now relax your body and trust that balloon as it inflates. Releasing, trusting. And when your body core starts engaging, let it go out to trust the energy field around you. Now let's do both arms, but this time we've got two balloons. And as we come halfway, the balloons stop and there's this golden thread above your head, pulling your arms up. We become like puppets of something far bigger. Notice your breath. And then as you're halfway, you come back to the balloon as it deflates. And again. You'll feel the weight maybe around your fingertips where the balloons are, not on the shoulders. And then as your hands are being pulled up, there's so much energy now coming through the hands. And letting go down. Notice the quality of your body, rolling the shoulders, releasing the core energy that it takes to hold the tension in our bodies. Shifting both shoulders up and down. Again, letting the breath do what it wants to do. Releasing the shoulders, shaking them. And now let's do a big round the world with our chin in a big circle, trusting that there's this whole field holding our head. Noticing any pains or aches in the body, but instead of going to the core now, let's just go to the huge supporting energy system. Beyond fear, beyond the rights and wrongs, beyond all of it, is something vast, an ocean of life, energy, that is holding us. Feel every movement, but surrender any ache, paying attention to the external support rather than the internal. Coming back to the centre. Feeling into the breath and the Sat-Nam. This is the truth. That when the ego is in control, all it knows is finity, not infinity. It knows control. It knows how to take, grab, control. I know when I train, there was huge competition. How can I do this posture the best? And we're letting go of that to something much bigger, of belonging to the One in the Sat-Nam. Now feeling held, I like to uncross my legs a bit, shake them out. Give some attention to what's happening. Sometimes I can so forget my body that I can go numb and then I can't stand on my feet. So this is not about one or the other, it's about the trusting of something much bigger, and yet we also come back to this body form, shaking out. And I'm going to play the music Sat-Nam very meditatively, and we're going to do some free movement now. So get into your favourite position of a yoga pose. I love to stretch up and just come down. You may want to do some Sufi grinds, but feeling your body being held by something much bigger. Let me just get the music up. You may want to change your pose, feeling your freedom, trusting that which is bigger. Feeling into the energy field all around you. And coming back into seated position, again experimenting with being held by this energetic force around us. We're going to do some arm exercises, so continuing with that balloon and experiment. But the main thing is to feel the support from the external. Slowly bringing your arms up and holding them above your head in a prayer position. Imagining a golden thread coming right through the Sushumna, the central force, but being held from above. So you're being held rather than holding yourself up. And keep the breath going. Where there's tension, release it. Trust that you're being held. And when the tension gets a bit too much, feel the whole angelic force holding your arms up. Now moving your hands up, see if you can feel the support from the ether. And slowly moving your hands in lovely circular directions, feeling into the movement, all the time feeling upheld from the external rather than the internal. Letting that root hold you deep into the earth, and begin to sway your arms, but all the time letting go of that need for the core strength to be held by this universal pranic energy. Play with it like it's a piece of golden thread. Stretching in all directions. Until there's a myriad of golden threads all around us, holding us, and balloons beneath us. Now imagining this pranic force, the ether energy, the universal energy, innate wisdom that comes from a source that we belong to but we cannot own. Feeling it now coming over your body, stroking you, gently soothing the tensions in your body. The great Satnam that we cannot possess or own, it flows through us, beyond us. And from this place we serve on earth without fear, without hatred, without the need to control. Stroking these golden threads. Every part of your body, let it be soothed and calmed. Take a moment now to enjoy the free gifts of being and belonging. For our work on earth is to free ourselves and others from pain and fear of the past or the future. And coming down now for the last few minutes into relaxation. I have recently, this is again a bit of a contradiction, like all of life, is I'm lying on a rolled up towel. So if you have something very thin to roll up for your mid-back, so just between the shoulder blades, I find that I'm just rolling my sheepskin up slightly and relax down. Now you'll feel structurally this will impact your spine and your posture, so it needs to be quite a small push right between the shoulder blades. And relax down. The experiment of this is to release the tension right there between the shoulder blades and to feel the pain, and when you tense, releasing down into it. So coming down, releasing, relaxing right there where we often feel a beginning of a hunch because we tend to sit a lot. And releasing into, if there's sensation of a bit of discomfort, releasing into it. Notice the muscles that tense up when there's a little slight bar right there. And if you don't have that, don't worry, just relax down onto the floor. And release. Release the tension. It's not just up to us. We become the hands that bring the seedlings. But because we're upheld ourselves, not out of strain or stress. So releasing down. And I'm going to read one of the poems I've read before from T.S. Eliot. I said to my soul, be still, and let the dark come upon you, which shall be the darkness of God, as in a theatre. The lights are extinguished, for the scene to be changed with a hollow rumble of wings, with a movement of darkness on darkness. And we know that the hills and the trees, the distant panorama, and the bold, imposing facade are all being rolled away. Or, as when an underground train stops too long between stations, and the conversation rises and slowly fades into silence, and you see behind every face the mental emptiness deepen, leaving only the growing terror of nothing to think about. And I said to my soul, be still, and wait in the darkness, wait without hope. For hope would be hope for the wrong thing. Wait without love. For love would be love of the wrong thing. There is yet faith, but the faith and the love and the hope are all in the waiting. Wait without thought. For you are not ready for thought. So the darkness shall be the light, and in stillness will be our dancing. the terror of letting go and trusting. Releasing. Releasing to what will be. As we walk humbly, doing what we're here to do. To relieve pain and suffering on earth. Being upheld by the pranic energy of love and life. And slowly move your bodies, bring them back, shake them, release them, hug your knees, and trust the light that comes universally to each of us, that cannot be controlled, but we can surrender to it. Bringing our hands now into prayer mudra. We allow this great Satnam to allow us to glow with universal wealth of love, faith, hope. Let's breathe in to close. Satnam.